Yo, what's up, people? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? It's wonderful to be with you on a wonderful Wednesday and talk about food. So, welcome to Food Talks, the FoodCast, with your host, E, and your main man, Rome the Chef.
Yo, what
What's
up?
up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. This was a pretty good day. The weather turned out real nice. I had some pretty good food at a little event at work, so it was really nice, man. How about you?
You know what? I didn't have a bad day today. Had a pretty short day at work. Went in, did the order, helped my cook out a little bit, helped do a little bit of prep, and I was out of there today.
Oh, so you just had a little touch and go today, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it was nice because my last
Okay,
2 days was 12, 13 hour days. So, nice to
okay,
get a
okay.
little reprieve.
Well, that definitely sounds really good to be able to take that break because I know every now and then, we get caught up under the workload and don't
Yeah.
get really a chance to relax and take it easy. But you know what though, I wanna ask you, um, we had some fun last week, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We did.
So what? So last week. We played around and we made a dish live, you know what I'm saying, and show people how we love our salads and we had a lot of fun.
Mhm.
This week, we actually kind of took some time and scheduled some time to be able to cook together
Right.
and play around with some concepts, right? So
Yes, sir.
why don't you tell people about what kind of brought that on?
I was coming to Columbus. I hit my man E up. I said, "Hey, I think we ought to get in the kitchen. I'm gonna come down a day early. I wasn't scheduled to be there till Saturday for the game. I said I'm come down a day early, and we're gonna get it in the kitchen."
Oh yeah, and we did, and we did. We had a great time. Got to play around. We got to go grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fun. It was definitely a fun experience. We ended up having uh, a main course and of
Hmm.
course, you know what I'm saying, like a dessert that we played around with.
Right.
What did we end up playing around with? Let's tell people about the menu items. And Cam, when you get a chance, go ahead and pull up that final dish that Chef Rome the chef chopped up, pulled up, made look so yummy.
Yeah. So we ended up doing a little pork belly with some glazed carrots and corn salad and cheesy polenta. And then on top, we had a little bit of arugula salad. This came out great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like the pictures don't do it no justice. The pictures is great and it looks like a great meal, but like eating it was heaven. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen,
Appreciate it. I
uh,
appreciate it.
it was very, very, very delicious. Let's start out with the corn salad. Let's talk about what made you choose the corn salad as a part of that particular combination of the dish,
Hmm.
and what type of corn salad was because like you put a lot of little fun things in there, and it was very
Right.
refreshing. So like let's hear about that corn salad.
All right. So I knew that the dish would be heavy with the pork belly, the polenta, and the carrots. We'll get into that a little bit later because we did something fun with those. Um,
Hmm.
but the dish would have a heaviness to it. So the corn salad was kind of there to lighten the dish up, almost like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, it really was too. I definitely would agree with that. It was well, the whole meal was well balanced because of the corn salad that
Mhm.
kind of just like pulled it all together. Like, so tell me a little bit about what was in the corn salad. Let's just tell people a little bit about what was in it.
All right, so we took our corn and roasted it down, um,
Now,
and
you skipping a very key way we did something to the core. Where you're not about to skip over this, ladies and gentlemen. They came to my house and used my stove in ways that I've never used. You defiled my baby. I'm just gonna say that. But it
all
was
right, so if you don't have an outside grill,
yeah.
here's what you do: stick your corn right on the fire,
Right
and
on the eye. Say
let
it.
it char
Yeah.
right on the fire. Let it char.
No, there's no
So
fire. This is this is an electric stove. So we want people to know the difference. If this was a gas stove and that happened, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, fire." Like, no, on the
I mean,
eye, we placed it.
and let it char.
And
Let it burn up a little bit. Let it get a little charred. It's gonna bring out a different flavor in that corn.
yeah, it did.
So then we cut the corn off the cob, and then we started to add our flavors to it. Which we went with a little bit of jalapeno, some garlic, red onion, green onion, a little bit of cilantro, and then we started to create like a sort of pseudo dressing for it with a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice,
Yeah,
and a touch of sugar, salt, pepper, and it just it's a great dish all in itself. It's light, it's refreshing, especially you get a heavy bite from the uh, polenta and the pork belly, and then you dig into
ooh,
that corn, and it just oh
yeah,
okay, my palate is cleansed. I can that way the dish isn't so heavy to finish.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like it was that corn was slapping. Okay, like we ate that corn real fast. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
So let's, and I'm gonna move around the plate. I want to get to the carrots. Cam, can you do me a favor? I think we may have some pictures or videos of him working on the sauce um, for the carrots and cutting them up, cutting them down. Like, talk to me about what you did with those carrots.
All
Because
right,
for one, you already know I question why you had all these weird colored carrots. Because they look like like why is there a purple carrot in here? Nobody
right,
should
right, right,
hear it, right? Like you
right.
cut the purple carrot and you got orange inside. What happened?
Right.
So
All right, so
yeah, talk to us about the carrots.
all right, so we have our rainbow carrots. I wanted to add pops of color to this plate.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our rainbow carrots, and we uh, cut them down, and then we place them in our sauce to sort of soften up and glaze. So the sauce is very, very simple. It's basically orange juice, which is going to bring a citrus and sweetness
Mm-hmm.
to the carrots. And that's what's the sugar in that orange juice is going to get thicker and thicker as you cook it down, and that's what's going to create that glaze.
Yeah.
But we added coriander and cumin to it, and that
Mm-hmm.
gave it a nice little balance of earthiness,
Mm-hmm.
um, which really played well with the whole dish as a whole. And yeah, you cook that down, and the flavors just continue to intensify and intensify,
Mm-hmm.
and they just wrap themselves around those carrots and glaze on those carrots.
Yeah, and them carrots was glazed. Them things had the thing going. I'm just saying, like
The things was thinking.
the things was stinging. Okay, so like, if ladies and gentlemen, like, and Cam, do me a favor, pull that picture of the dish back up so I can like point out the carrots. Like when he says glaze, like you can see the shimmering edges of the carrots, and you can also see like that. He was very particular in the way that he cut them so that they could cook down completely together. Because if you'd have
Mhm.
bigger sections versus smaller sections, it wouldn't have the same texture when you bit into different various carrots. And the sweetness of the glaze when we actually got to try it mixed very well with the polenta. It really
Mhm.
did. It was like it was like when you think of breakfast and like syrup is accidentally touching your bacon and you like, but I love it, right? Like there's
Right,
certain
right.
combinations of things that just naturally occur because things are on the same plate. But like, was it truly intentional to make the glaze have that sweetness so that it would complement the polenta as well?
Yeah, like I want the whole dish to complement each everything.
Mhm.
So I wanted it to be like a complete dish, kind of like edamame, not edamame, but I can't think of the word right now. But it's like the fifth taste. So it's like basically a taste on everything.
Okay.
You had salty, which was the pork belly.
Mm-hmm.
You had very savory, which was that cheese polenta.
Yeah.
You had the sweetness from the carrots, and it was
Mhm.
also earthy. And then you had the bright, refreshing corn. So it's kind of a play on, like, I wanted everything to come together to create one. Like, I think I had Cam taste. I said, taste everything in one bite.
Yeah. 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 And when you did that, it had a really depth. Like the flavor
Yeah,
had such depth that you were like, wow, like
umami. It's
yeah,
umami.
umami. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, like it
Yeah.
did. It resonated with umami. Like it was just so much flavor, and it
Hmm.
was so savory, and the combination of it was flawless. So I want to move around the plate now. We talked about the carrots. I want to get to the polenta, right? Like a
Right.
lot of people don't really aren't familiar with polenta. So let's start out with what the polenta is, because like if you look at the picture, Cam, do me a favor and bring the picture back up. If you look at the picture, somebody could easily confuse that for mashed potatoes or something, right?
Or
Like
greens. Yeah.
so let's talk about the polenta, and let's talk about the texture of it, and the flavor that you
Hmm.
infuse in it and how you infuse in it. What you infuse in, because I know you use some very particular cheeses too, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, let's talk about the polenta.
And it was kind of intentional to use those three different cheeses. So first of all, the polenta is basically cornmeal and a stock or heavy cream. I like to use both. I like to cook it down in stock first, which cook it down in chicken stock, um, and that imparts a lot of flavor. And then I like to add in butter and keep adding in butter. Like, we added a ton of butter to these. Like,
Hmm.
they were silky, silky smooth.
Hmm.
Um, so then we started adding in our cheese, which we used a mascarpone cheese. And then I used a, and that's just because I wanted them to be so silky and smooth.
Hmm.
I added in that goat cheese to bring, it's a certain, like, that goat cheese has a certain little bite to it.
Yeah, and it
Um,
did. It did have a certain bite to it. Yeah, you're
right.
right.
So then you add in that goat cheese, and then I added some of that. What is it? Pecorino,
Yes, the
which
pepperino.
we which we played around with the
Yes,
first show.
before. Yes.
Yes. So I
Yeah. So
added
we
some of
made
the
that.
pecorino
The
because that
so let
pecorino
me,
has a
let me
saltiness and a different little bite to it as well.
yeah, yeah. And it was to make sure it's queso de pepe.
Cacio de pepe.
Yeah, queso de pepe. Yeah, I mean, and I always think catch the pepe. That's in my
Cacio,
mind.
cacio e pepe.
Yeah, that's all I think. I'm gonna catch me a Pepe. Okay. All right. And we used that cheese in that dish in the previous episode. But so I really did enjoy the polenta. Now there was something that I think I didn't really understand, right?
Okay.
Like why the polenta versus actual mashed potatoes or something.
All right. So we could have did mashed potatoes, but I'm a huge fan of cheesy polenta. Like, this thing is silky, silky smooth, and it adds another layer and texture to
Yeah.
that dish.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Where mashed potatoes are, you can get mashed potatoes and you can get them silky smooth. You can, but cheese polenta, it's quick to do. You don't have it's not a lot of fuss, not a lot of muss. And you can really drive that flavor in. Like, you can impart so much flavor in with those, and they're great with a lot of different dishes. I know I did them before with, like, a meatball and marinara, and it's
Yeah.
excellent with that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Look. Hey, look. I just wanted to further investigate, so this way, people can try to really understand, what choices were being made, and why we chose the flavor profiles that we did. So this
Right.
leads me to the last thing on the plate, and like and I really want to focus in on this. Cam, can you pull up the picture of the pork belly, the finished roasted one? Yes. Okay. So hold that right there for everybody just to see. I had the privilege of being able to cut into the pork belly and cut the sections for folks. So it was off the chain. I loved it. It had this wonderful crispness to the outside. Chef Rome, talk to us about the pork belly. What did you do, and what was the process that we utilized to cook?
All right, so I like to do like a almost 24-hour process on this. So on the flesh side, the actual meat side, the flavors we used were equal parts sugar, equal parts salt.
Okay.
And then I added a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of red pepper flake.
Okay.
That's it. And a touch of black pepper. I'm sorry, touch of black pepper. All right, to the skin side, the fatty side. The only thing I put on there, and this is always a bit controversial, so most people would use salt. I use MSG.
Okay.
King of flavor.
I mean, MSG is some good stuff.
It's salt on crack.
Yeah, so I definitely get it.
So the reason why we salt the fat is to draw out the moisture.
Right.
So for 24 hours, you're drawing out the moisture in this thing, and you want to start the cooking process low. So I believe it was 275 we started on.
Yeah, we started 275.
And we cooked it for like 2.5, 3 hours low. And then we crank up the heat to about 350, 375, and just let it cook. And that skin will crisp up and get nice, and like when you cut into it, there was a
yeah, definitely. It sounded like you were breaking bacon. It was lovely. It was
so spectacular. You get this nice crispness, and then the inside, like you can literally, like I think at one point you literally picked the piece up and it was just dripping.
Yeah, it was
because it was so juicy.
Stop making me salivate over food that I've already eaten. Okay, this is horrible.
Cam, can you pull up the picture of E after he had ate a piece of the pork belly, looking at the pork belly?
You had this photo ready? Yeah, that was definitely some delicious pork belly. It was off the damn thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was some good eating. Cam, do me a favor and go ahead and run some of the video of making some of the food that we made for that main dish. We'll play around, guys, and give you a little backdrop and show you some behind the scenes. So this is the creme brulee. This is the dessert that we worked on. I was going to get to that. This was my assignment, right? Like I played around with the dessert and I made us a beautiful little fun vanilla with a touch of lemon creme brulee. It was approved by Chef Rome. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. It was delicious.
More importantly, it was approved by my cousin Ruben. Rocky approved it, and I think that was the more important thing.
Yeah, that's very true. Because he looked at that, he was like, he did. He got his first bite. He looked up at me, and was like, "All right,
right."
Yeah. Wasn't gonna let me slide if I messed that up.
No, then it became an eating contest between me and him on who was going to finish first.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Yeah, go ahead and run that video.
Starting flavor into that orange juice, cooking that down, mixing in the cumin and the coriander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That thing cooked down real nicely. It had this beautiful brown hue once it was done. So yeah, definitely some good stuff. Do you got some video of us cutting into the pork belly? I thought we had some, right?
We got next thing you know, he gonna be sitting down.
All right.
Next thing you know, he gonna be sitting down.
All right, Chef. I just want to ask this question: why didn't you pull the skin off when you cut it the first time?
You mean like this?
Yeah,
This other piece?
the peel. Yeah, you didn't pull the peel off until after you cut it.
All right, so I don't like wasting time, especially like when I'm at work and I have to cut several onions down.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of developed a little technique.
Technique.
For getting through the onions faster.
Yeah. I'm with this method. I do this myself. So it is just a tidbit faster to just cut the onion instead of trying to peel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry, Siobhan, that we have no more available. I can try to recreate it another time.
Hey, listen. Excuse me, sir. No, excuse me. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your interest in the food that we have prepared. You are more than welcome to reach out to the show and talk to somebody about possibly getting your order or being a guest on the show. And we're more than welcome to have you be on the show, Siobhan. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. Yes, the pork belly was. Oh, you took some home to sis. Dope. Okay, so. I wanna kind of play around with the concept of the dessert, right? Because like I know we showed the creme brulee, but like creme brulee is such a simple dessert, but you
it's
can
so
mess it
good.
up. You can mess it up so easily.
It's so easy.
Yeah, like it is so delicate that for me, like I typically don't even do it manually anymore. Like when I was doing it in the beginning, I would do it manually. But now since I got the KitchenAid, like with the whole little setup, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing do its thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna be over there trying to keep up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to make these egg yolks silky. You know what I'm saying? As well as trying to maintain the heat on this damn, you know what I'm saying, milk. You know what I'm saying? Heavy cream. I ain't trying to do all that. Like, no, man. No, that's
Lee, as soon as we get that technology where we can email you some samples, we got you, brother.
Oh, listen on everything, like on everything. Ooh, bro, you got us in trouble.
We only had a certain amount.
We had 5. There was,
right, and there was four.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you only made 4. Yeah, we had 5 ramekins. You made 4. There was 4 of us.
Yeah, I made 4 because there was 4 of us, but I didn't know that I was supposed to make another one because then we could have did that. But anyway, we definitely appreciate your interest. Please reach out to the show, and maybe you can be a guest and we can feed you then. All right, so. Hey, Rome, that's how we do it, right?
Right. Just be a guest next time.
Yeah, just be a guest.
You've been there, you got some.
Just be a guest. Like I don't. Like how else is this supposed to work? We know,
right?
Invite us to your house to cook. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. All right, so yeah, the creme brulee was really fun. I definitely enjoy. Hey, Cam, do me a favor and run the video of toasting the tops and finishing off the creme brulees. I always think that that's the most interesting part. And when we come back from that video, Chef, I want to hear your thoughts on that process. And have you ever used the torch in any other ways? Mm-hmm. Earning and burning.
Mm-hmm. Nice and crisped up.
Yeah.
I always love that shatter.
Yeah. That first little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I had a lot of fun. Like I definitely enjoy using my torch. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Whenever I can like quickly torch something and like add flavor to it, like I definitely will. I don't care what it is. Like just splash your bacon with a torch. You know, just do it. Whew. All right, so tell me about it. I mean, tell me about the process of using a torch for creme brulee.
All right, so you can't keep it on the sugar in one specific area for too long because you'll start to burn the sugar. The process is not to burn the sugar, but to lightly melt the sugar. And you want to have a little thin layer of the sugar, not too heavy and not too thin, because you're trying to create a like pseudo like you want that glass, almost like a glass to shatter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fine line of what's too much, what's too little.
Yeah.
All right, so and kudos to you because it was done well.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Like I even told you, I was like, hey, just go over it like one more time lightly, and like like it was done well. Like,
well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Have you ever used a torch for cooking anything else? What's something that you've cooked with a torch outside of a vegetable?
Okay, so I do like using my torch on like if I make a sandwich, and I want to melt the cheese down real quick. I definitely pull out my torch to melt the cheese down real quick.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Okay,
yeah, I mean, like,
never thought about that.
Yeah, like if you, I mean, like, and I'm not making like regular sandwiches. So I mean, like the big boy sandwiches. Like, take this and melt this cheese down a little bit here. And I've also used it on like cutting down like okay, so if you cut down fish pretty thin, yeah, you can use it on there to like crisp up that skin just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Chef, we had a wonderful time. I know we're going to do it again at some point. I know we talked about scheduling. We had such a wonderful time. I want to hear your final thoughts on our food extravaganza, our cooking thing. Now, I'm gonna go at the end of this. I'm gonna throw it out there. Anybody interested in hosting E in Rome, the chef, to cook in their location and be a guest on the show? Like we're always looking to do fun stuff, and when we have the opportunity to schedule it out, we'll definitely try to make it happen. But yeah, I want to get your final thoughts as we wrap up today.
Yeah. So yeah, I should be back sometime in October. And if you're in the Columbus area and you are looking for us to come and invade your kitchen, definitely reach out to myself or Eric. And yeah, let's make it happen. Definitely a lot of fun. I don't know. We had a lot of fun during this whole process. From the grocery store to the end result. Yeah, I think we were together from like 6 or 7 till like
midnight.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
Playing around with food.
And I'm not even gonna brag about the fact that you guys got to drink from the private bar, and like I'm not gonna tell all the details about all the stuff
right
in the background. Yes, of course I'm telling you, but like I'm not gonna tell everything. Oh yeah, we had a great. It was wonderful. Right. Especially when we pulled out the pole and the dance. I'm just playing it. like nothing. We really did have some real foodie friend fun. Like that was very unique, and I appreciate you, brother, so much for bringing your unique talents and perspectives to the podcast as well as to what you do every day, and then sharing those skills. Because, like, for somebody like me, and like this is real too, right? And then we can sign off or whatever. But like for somebody like me who has a passion for cooking, but it's not my profession, but it's your profession and you have a passion for cooking, like it makes it so much better for me to come and work with you. You know what I'm saying? And I know because I come thirsty and capable, it makes it easier for you to work with me. Yeah. So And it was so fun to be able to just watch you go do your thing, and I could just sit here in my house watching you cook, and then it's my turn, and I go up and go do my thing, and we just both kind of like doing our thing.
Right.
It was fun. So, Cam, do me a favor and pull up the picture of me and Rome. You know what I'm saying? The OGs in the kitchen, knives up. Yeah, there we go. All right. That was mad fun. Thank you so much, brother, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on the podcast About Nothing every Sunday. You can definitely always tune in on Wednesdays where we got the food talks, the FoodCast. Check on Tuesdays for Comfy Couch with our girl Siobhan. And then on Thursdays, you can get your joke on and just clowning with the homeboys, Mouth the Mailman and our man C Mello. And then if you need that motivation, and on Mondays, if you need to move, come check out
Motivation
on Easy Monday Motivations. This has been Food Talks, the FoodCast, where things last and we make it fun and fast. And thank you so much.
One more thing.
Go for it, brother.
I want to say that the greatest accomplishment I had that night was Cam gave me my chef title. Which for years.
Did. Oh, don't cut us off, Cam. Don't cut us off now.
You're not a chef. Yeah. I don't trust in your abilities in that kitchen. and literally, I had Cam speechless.
Yes. Congratulations. That is, and you know what? We're gonna end on a high note. Thank you so much, Cam, for all the work that you do in the background.
Appreciate you, brother.
In the production. Shout out to everybody that you know what I'm saying, popped in the chat and that support. Please like, share, comment, and tune in to us all the time. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Peace.